Well, vital for our success is that we score more goals than our opponent on that every given night. So whether it comes from Nike or somebody else, I would say that's what's vital. Certainly, he can be a big piece of that. I thought he went through a stretch in the middle of the year where he wasn't playing as good as he's capable of. I think in the last, 10, 15 games, I think he's actually played really well. I think when he plays his best, he's skating with the puck from tops of circles to tops of circles and then allowing himself to slow down once he gets there. I think he's winning puck battles. I've seen lots more of that. He's fighting to get to the inside. I've seen lots more of that. So from a process standpoint, I think there's lots of good stuff there that if he keeps doing it, I think the puck will go in. And an unbelievable opportunity that Bishop made the save with his shoulder on. Enough times that's going to go in. But again, he's somebody that certainly has been at different times a big piece of our puzzle. And the better he plays, the better we are. But in the end, what we need is more goals than our opponent on any given night.
Should there be even more emphasis on him, considering that he's been considered one of the transitional blocks, if you will, for this franchise?
Well, I'm not looking at it like that right now, Drew. What I'm looking at is trying to find a way to win a hockey game. And so whether that goal comes from Nyquist, whether that extra goal comes from Glennie, whether that extra goal comes from DK, it doesn't matter. We need to score one more than our opponent. Do we look at each player's play and say you got to be better? Absolutely. When needed, we certainly do that. As I said, I think his play's been good. What you control is process. You can't make the puck go in, but you can control your process to give yourself opportunities, and I think he's getting those opportunities.
Jeff, what do you have to do better against the Johnson line?
Need to make sure we not allow them rush chances, one. I would say the first one was a real rush chance. They're great in open ice. They can make plays in small areas, so we got to make sure that we do our best that we can at taking away time and space. We got to make sure our defensive positioning is a little bit better than it was. We're going to make it harder to get to our net.
Jeff, what makes Bishop so effective? And is there a point where a goalie can get into another team's head when he's had as much success against the team?
Well, only if you let him. We're not going to let that happen. What makes him successful is he's talented and knows how to use his size well, and it looks like he's been extremely well coached. I think I've actually known him since he was trying out for a USHL team a long time ago and got cut. So I've known him a long time, and he's really learned how to use his size well. He's really learned how to fill net well. He's really learned how to keep himself in the cage and get to seconds. But like any goalie, if the more seconds you get to, the more traffic you get, the harder you make it on them, the better chance to score. It's hard to score this time of year on any goalie. You saw that certainly in the St. Louis game last night. Well, it's the same thing here. So we'll keep doing the things that we can control.
Optional today, but is everyone available?
I believe everyone's available, but I'll know that more tomorrow.
What's your assessment of Dylan Larkin's first playoff experience, and did you have any words of advice for him after?
Well, the biggest thing, we talked about, this goes back to the success that Detroit had through a large part of the series last year was, and I talked with Hank about this a year ago, just about being okay with nothing happening some shifts and making sure that you take what's given, and when you get opportunities, do everything you can to score, but not to force plays that aren't there. And I think as a young player, you gotta balance that. You want to attack, but you don't want to force. And I think any time in life when you force things, it usually ends up bad. And the same thing on the hockey rink. So that balance is critical for a guy like Dylan to understand that you want to attack. You want to again, when there's opportunities to make plays, and if there aren't opportunities to make plays, live another day. And I thought he did a good job of that last night. I think he got a quick taste of how physical the game is. That it increases as the playoffs go on, but I don't think that stuff doesn't bother Dylan at all. He's got a great toughness to him.
Jeff, what kind of added dimension or challenge does a guy like Hedman bring when he can be kind of a presence, in your zone and join the rush, kind of as like a fourth forward?
Well, I think the first thing I think what Victor Hedman can do is when you lose a guy like Strawman, can fill lots of those minutes, and you saw that last night with the 29 minutes that he played, and so that's where he's extremely valuable to their hockey team. So he's a really good player. We've got to do what we can to make sure in terms of his ability to jump in the play. We know not only him, but a number of their D are active jump in the play. We've got to make sure that whether we can be physical with hard checks, at the very least, we've got to make sure we bump them and get back above them and stay above them on the way back. The best way to not allow them to get involved in the play is to end as many rushes as we can before the red line with good gaps and good tracks. So that's got to be the best area. But he's certainly a really good player. We know that.
Did you try Zetterberg yesterday? Did you see better jump out of him last night, or was
They created some opportunities. I thought as a team, I said last night I thought we did good things, but there's certainly things we can do better, and I'd say that going through all 18 skaters, there's things we can do better. So we gotta, when I look back at the game today on video, I thought it was a fairly even game, but we want to try to make it so it's not even, so it's advantage us. So there's things we gotta be better at.
A lot of scrums and stuff after whistles. Did you give any thought to putting Brendan Smith in the lineup?
Well, first of all, we haven't decided our lineup for tomorrow, so we'll make those decisions tomorrow. The second thing is, I'm less worried about the scrums after the whistle as I am the play between whistles. We want to make sure we do a great job between whistles. Now, certainly, Brendan brings a toughness that can be an element in those situations. I'm not worried about guys pushing each other back and forth. That doesn't do much. In fact, I thought the refs did a great job of policing that. What we need to do is make sure that we're taking hits to make plays, that we're making it hard on them, all the stuff between whistles that matter in the game.
Is Hank available? It seems like Phil got him with maybe a slash or something late in the game.
I read that. I didn't see it, and he's available.
Thank you.